Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Stacy and I am so happy you're here. Today's video is about duping the Too Faced Pumpkin Spice eyeshadow palette that recently came out in several websites. And this palette is retailed for $49, so I decided to dupe the color scheme of its whole entirety, and it looks just like this. And I've rated swatches of what you see right now, and I will go through those in details in the next clip. And I've also created an inspired look based on that color scheme alone, so if you like to stick around to see that as well, keep on watching. I hope you subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so these shades are all the shades I duped for the Too Faced Pumpkin Spice palette, and we will start off with this. And this is the cream by the Wondrous palette from Emily Noel. Then this is the shade called Sissy from the Jaclyn Hill Volume 1 Morphe palette. This next one is the shade called it's Dune by Profusion Mirage palette. And this one is the shade called Creamsicle by the Jaclyn Hill Volume 1 palette. And this one is the shade called Hut, and this is the Jaclyn Hill Volume 1 palette from Morphe. And then this one is in the shade called Bossy from Profusion Festival palette. This is the shade Superstar and Enlightened from the Profusion Paradise palette. Mix those two shades together. Next is the Coastal Scents eyeshadow shades called Fool's Gold and Kokomo Cafe. Next is from the Juvia's Saharan 2 palette and the shade called Chef Charogne, something like that. It's a minty shade. Then the next one is Smooth Criminal, the eyeshadow shade in the Arms and Gorgeous Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette. Next is the shades Adore and Rain in the Profusion Love Struck palette. Then this one is in the shade Framed from the Ring the Alarm Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette. This is in the shade Pups from the Juvia's Place the Dulce palette. This next one is the shade called Cupid and the Profusion Sunkissed palette. And this one is the Coastal Scent eyeshadow shade called Ice Ballet. This is in the shade Imagine That from the ColourPop Lilac palette. This is the BH Cosmetics Club Tropicana palette. It's the third purple shade and the bottom row. It doesn't have a name. And this last shade is the Coastal Scents eyeshadow shade called Midnight Blue. Okay, so now that you've seen the swatches more detailed of all the eyeshadow palettes, I had to find within those, how many were there? 18 shades. I wanted to talk about my look that I created. And so first I started off with the shade called Creamsicle, which is in the Jaclyn Hill Volume 1 Morphe palette. And I took my Sigma brush and I put that all over my crease shade as a start. It's a very light orangey kind of color, so I thought that pretty much fit the theme of fall for me. And so after that, I took the shade called Bossy, and this is in the Profusion Festival palette, and I did that same window wiper lotion on the crease of my lid. And I did that same method, and it really darkened the Creamsicle shade, so I made it more into like a burnt light orange color, which came out really, really pretty. I also put that shade in my lower lash line, and that made it more into a diffuse smoky eye, but in a light version. Next, I took the shade called Huts, and it's in the Jaclyn Hill Volume 1 Morphe palette again, and I just patted it along the outer V and took it along the crease as well. So with that brush, I used the ColourPop one, and it did a good job with patting it lightly, and yeah. So now for the lid shade, I took the shade called Pups, and I believe this one is in the Juvia's the Dulce palette, and I did wet it with some water so I could have the most metallic oil finish, and it was really, really pretty. And so next, I took the Coastal Scents Rose Gold and Kokomo Cafe, mixed it all together, and I did a light transition along the crease shade, so you can almost see like an olive tone outside the eye look. So that came out really, really good. I just built it up as I went, but I didn't go too heavy with it. And then for my brow bone, I took the shade The Cream by the Wants palette, which is from the Emily Noel collaboration with Makeup Revolution, and that brightened up the brow bone as well. And then lastly, for the inner corner, I took the shade Shahoan, and this is from the Juvia's Saharan 2 palette, and I did wet that shade to have it the most metallic boiled finish, and that came out really, really beautiful. So that one was really, really nice. And yeah, so this would be my finished eye look out of that whole step-by-step description of it, and I really love how it came out. I never knew I could pair orange with a mint shade, so it came out stunning and effortless as well. And with my lip color, I did use this little baby sample size, which is the Too Faced Melted Matte in Pumpkin Spice. And I really diffused it by taking a little bit with my finger and I just dabbed it with my lips, into my lips, and then it just created this blotted finished look, which I really love as well. So that is pretty much it. I just really wanted to share the love of pumpkin spice that I have when the season comes around. And if you can't afford this Too Faced palette, or you're just looking for a dupe for it, just find it among your own eyeshadow palettes. I'm pretty sure you could find almost all these shades in those. And yeah, so that's basically all that I wanted to say. So I'm going to end this now, and I just want to wish you a good rest of your day or night. God bless, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.